Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Jerome Strickland channel. I'd like to welcome you back. I'm coming at you in a little bit of a different format today. And I just want to talk to you about some things today. Mainly about you. And who you really are. And what are you? And what are you? Who are you? You ever ask yourself that question? You ever ask yourself, who am I? And more importantly, what am I? So I want to talk to y'all a little bit about that today. Now, what I'm about to say may go against your traditional religious beliefs. What I'm about to say may go against even your moral beliefs. But that doesn't make it any less true. That doesn't make it any less right. But if you accept this and open up to this and keep an open mind to this, you will realize exactly who you are. And as you realize who you are, you will begin to step into your power. You begin to step into your livelihood. You begin to step into your joy and your peace. And you will begin to step into a great relationship with yourself. What am I talking about? I'm talking about being honest and being truthful about who you are. I'm about to tell you who you are. If you are a light being, I'm about to tell you exactly who you are today. You see, light beings are gods in human bodies. Light beings are gods in human bodies. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying you're the God. I'm not saying you're this cosmic entity that go around creating worlds and all this other stuff. What I mean by when I say God in a human body, meaning I'm saying that you are a part of Source. Now think of it like this. Think of it as just remember those giant cookies, those big round cookies. You used to get them at different places. Go to a bakery and these big giant cookies. Now imagine you having a big giant cookie and you got it sitting there on the table, and you reach down and you break a piece of that cookie off and you take it into the next room. Now that piece that you broke off, is it still a cookie or is it something else? That what you just broke off is still a cookie. Now imagine Source. I mean, I hate to put it like this, but in order to make the point, I have to put it like this. Imagine Source, this big giant cookie that goes on forever. Imagine that as Source. Imagine you as a piece of that big giant cookie that's broken off. Now, that cookie still has the same ingredients. That piece of cookie that was broken, it still got the same ingredients. It still has sugar and eggs and cookie dough and all this other stuff. It's just a smaller version of the bigger version. And that's what you are. You're just a smaller version of the bigger version. And a lot of people are going through life, are living their lives not knowing this. Because they have allowed tradition. They have allowed religion. They have allowed what somebody else told them. They have allowed what somebody else told them to permeate their belief system. Their belief system is based on what somebody else told them. Or somebody put a book in their hand and said, read this. This is the truth. Read this. This is all the truth you're going to need. Read this. Really? What I tell you and whatever book I give you, and see, the problem is they catch you when you're very young. Between the ages of, I say, 4 and 7, it varies and fluctuates between people, but normally between 4 and 7, you are the most impressionable. And so that's when they instill religion in you. That's when they instill beliefs in you. That's when they put stuff in front of you and say, okay, this is it. And so past the age of 7, that program is almost, all the way down to your DNA. And unfortunately, most people cannot wake up and break free of that program. Not only do they not wake up and break free, they go deeper. They go deeper into the programming. Especially when somebody like me come along and tell them something different than what they've been taught. But what I want to get back to my point, I need you to realize that you are a God in a human body. You are a part of Source. And what does that mean? That means that you can co-create. That means you are a creator. That's what a God does. What is if you had to do a resume for a God, if you had to do a profile for a God, what would that number one thing be? What would the first thing you would put in that profile? What was that first thing you would put in that resume? If you was applying to be God, to be a God. If you was applying to be a God, what was the first thing you would put on your resume? The first thing you would put is a creator. That's what a God does. A God creates. And what I mean by you co-create with Source is because, think of it like the cookie again. If the cookie tastes good and you break a piece of that cookie off, who's ever eaten that piece is tasting the whole. Who's ever eaten that piece of cookie is tasting the whole cookie. So in a sense, that cookie is a co-creator. That piece of cookie is a co-creator with the actual cookie. Because it's got the same ingredients, it's got the same taste, it's got everything the same. It's just a piece of the whole. And so I wanted to let all the light beings know that you are a co-creator. Because you are a God in a human body. That you are confined to this human body. Just this body is a confinement. This body is a boundment. And it allows you to move through this 3D matrix, this 3D reality. It is a vehicle for your soul and your spirit. Just like I'm sitting in this vehicle right now. If I wanted to get in the driver's seat and go to the other side of town, I need to get in the vehicle and drive there. Same thing if you want to move through this reality, this 3D reality, you need a 3D body. But what are you outside of this 3D body? Some people call it the higher self. Some people call it the subconscious. What are you? You are something totally different than the confines of this human body. You are something totally different. And that's who I'm trying to get you to recognize who you are. And most people have been taught to believe that they're this body, that this body is them. Once the body goes, that person's gone. But the person doesn't go. The actual person, the consciousness, the soul and the spirit of that person travels somewhere else. It cannot be created or it cannot be destroyed. It can only transform. I know I sound like a Transformers movie, but that's the truth. You are in this body temporarily, in a temporary experience. But you are not this body. If you was to see who you really are and what you really are, then you will understand how to co-create. You will understand what your real job is. And your real job is to create. Your real job is to co-create. Your real job is to rise up and become who you are. That's your real job. And this knowledge, this insight has been suppressed. Who suppressed it? Why they suppressed it? That's another video. Right now, in this video, my goal is to get you, to get me, to get all of the light beings to realize who they are. And this is why things seem to mess with your confidence. This is why things seem to not always go your way. It's not because you're doing anything wrong, but it's simply because of who you are. And you're trying to use the world system to raise up and to rise up. You don't need to use the world system. The world system is for the world, for those that belong to this world. The world system is for those that belong to this matrix system. Be in the world and not of the world. Be in the matrix and not of the matrix. You see, there's two dualities of matrices. Matrices. One matrix is of this world, but then there's another matrix of the spirit. And you need to become and step into your spirit and start getting a relationship, meaning you start turning your focus back to source. You start reverting your focus and stop putting your focus on this world and what it has to offer. This world does not offer light beings anything. You focusing on what this world and what it has to offer. This world has nothing to offer you except pain and frustration and all kind of negative emotions. You know, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is get hit, and it's like a constant battle trying to stay high, trying to stay up. It's like a constant battle because you got constantly this reality is constantly throwing things at you to get you in a low negative frequency, which is an emotion. You got things trying to get you in envy. You got things trying to get you in anger. You got things trying to frustrate you. You got things trying to make you feel inadequate. You got things trying and things trying to make you feel stupid and unworthy. All day long, every day, all day. That's what we like beings are dealing with every day, and it's like a chess match. You trying to, and it's like you in this water, you in this pool of water, and there's these entities underneath the water trying to pull you under it, but you trying to stay on top so you can keep breathing. These entities are trying to pull you under the water and drown you, and you trying to fight to stay on top of the water so you won't get drowned. So the realization is, how do you not get drowned by negative emotions? Is by not allowing yourself to get into a negative emotion. You don't allow yourself to do it, because your co-creation power, your co-creation abilities is based on your high frequency and your high vibrations. If you allow yourself to get in a low frequency and a low vibration, then it greatly distorts and hinders your co-creation power. It greatly distorts and hinders your co-creation abilities. So step into your power. How do I step into my power? By raising your frequency and vibration. Why do you think this system, this world, is constantly trying to pull you into a negative vibration? Because it does not want you to experience your power, who you are. It's trying to make you feel like a nobody when you really are somebody. It's trying to make you feel angry when you really shouldn't be feeling angry. It's trying to make you feel jealous when you really shouldn't be jealous of anyone. Everything you shouldn't be is trying to make you be that. Are we fighting up against something, or is it something within us that we're fighting? I think it's both. I think there are forces out there that know this, that know if they can get in your mind, they can get in your frequency and make you feel and emotionalize in a certain way. That, but then why would somebody want to do that? Because I believe it's a play on control. Control is the most, is the most valuable thing. That to be in control, people place more value than money and gold is being in control. That's why people seek after money and all this other stuff. This is why people seek to be on the top of the pyramid. This is why people seek to be rich. They ultimately want to gain more control. And if you understand your power and your co-creation and your manifestation abilities, guess what? You cannot be controlled. God's people are not made to be controlled. We are made to co-create. So I'm gonna probably make some more videos on this. This is just an introduction video on this, and I'm trying something new. I know I'm usually in my studio and I have music playing and I'm giving you an image, but I wanted to do something a little different. I'm not afraid to show my face on here because I'm speaking truth. And the thing about truth is, it doesn't matter who's speaking it. You resonate with it and you know it's truth. I see people all the time that speak truth, and I resonate with their truth more than, it's not about them as a person. It's not about me as a person. It's about what's being said. So I urge you to concentrate on what's being said, not who's saying it. So I want to leave that with you today. I'm going to be posting some more videos. I may, if this is success, if I get a lot of views on this and I get some likes on this, I may continue to do it in this format. But I just want to thank y'all for listening today. And remember, you are a God in a human body. You are part of Source, and your job is to co-create. But in order to do that, you got to keep your frequency and your vibration high. You must do that. You must do that. And so the controllers, or whoever it is that's running this system, y'all can feel it, y'all can see it. Look around. I'm talking to the light beings now. You see it. You see the pattern. Don't fool yourself. You see it. Go within yourself and be honest with yourself. You see the pattern. Don't let anyone tell you that and accuse you of playing the victim. Yeah, there are some people who do play the victim, but you have to also realize that what you up against too. That you are up against something, and in order to overcome it, you have to recognize it. If you don't recognize it, how can you overcome it? So raise your frequency and your vibration, and don't let all of these plays against you, these plays to get you in a negative emotion, these plays to get you in anger, these synchronicities and these plays to get you in jealousy, these synchronicities and these plays to get you in self-doubt and feeling of inadequacy and unworthiness. Don't allow it. You don't have to allow it into your frequency. That's the thing. It tries to force its way into your frequency, but you are the gatekeeper of your own frequency. And you don't allow it. Just say, I refuse. And then you have to be in a meditative state and more of an observer than a player of the game. Observe what the game is throwing at you. Observe the synchronicities that the game is throwing at you. And then don't allow it to get you. And because it's throwing these different things at you, it's all about getting you in a negative emotion. To feed it energy. But if you don't feed it, it can't grow in your life. So I want to leave that with y'all. My battery's getting low, but I will be making another video soon. I'm gonna start pumping them out. It's time to take it to another level. It's time to go to, I'm talking about not just me, all of us. It's time to go to another level. We need to stop playing the game and start controlling the game. You have the power as a light being, as a God in a human body, to control this game. Take your control back. All right? This is Jerome Strickland. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.